Welcome to the Cross the Line podcast. My name is Carlos Smith, and today's episode is sponsored by KB's Car Care on 321 North Main Street in Jonesville, South Carolina. They offer hand car wash, vacuum, and clean interior. Full detail is also available. While you wait on your vehicle, customer seating is available as well as a dining area. They're open Tuesday to Saturday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., so make sure you stop by. Today's episode is also sponsored by Big Ben's Desserts. If you need to satisfy your sweet tooth, this is the place for you. They have a wide variety of desserts, including cakes, ice cream, banana pudding, and my personal favorite, Oreo cheesecake. They're open Tuesday to Saturday from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. and Sunday from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. So stop by and visit Big Ben's Desserts on 297 Spartanburg Highway in Lima, South Carolina, where nothing could be sweeter. Today, this is another special episode of the Cross the Line podcast, self-investment tour, where we are here in Alabama. Is this part... We consider this part Birmingham right here, too?
It's metropolitan Birmingham.
Okay. Because I know yesterday when one of our interviews, they said we were in Bessemer. That was our first time being out there, so we want to make sure we had it right. So we have a special guest with us today. She's the founder of Boss Bay University, Deezy's Playhouse, and Bossy Beauty. Miss Muff Deezy, how you doing?
Hey, what's up, y'all?
What's going on? Serial entrepreneur. So we definitely going to get into your story. Appreciate you taking the time to sit down and, share your journey.
Thank y'all so much for having me.
Absolutely. So just kind of starting out, you tell us, from my early age, everybody just call you Muff Deezy.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you think people would describe you? When they hear Muff Deezy, what do you think? How would people describe you?
I don't know. So now it's to the point where, it's, people are using Muff Deezy and Boss Bay simultaneously. Mm-hmm. So I get a lot of those adjectives of boss this, boss that. They like, if anything business related, everybody pretty much comes to me.
Right. So you born and raised here in Birmingham?
Yes, I am.
How would you describe Birmingham?
Birmingham is definitely a one of a kind city. We have very bad rap for violence and crimes. I live here. So I don't feel like the crime is that bad, but outside looking in, it possibly could be that bad. But since I'm here, it could be normalized to me because I live here. But I most definitely love my city. The city is growing very rapidly. Entrepreneurs are growing in the city very rapidly. We just recently got the Protective Stadium. We just recently had the World Games here this year. So we definitely have lots of opportunities coming up for everybody. And it's really not bad. I love it.
Have you ever thought about, leaving home, or is it just like you just want to stay here and build your business? Have you ever had those thoughts?
I do want to relocate, just for the simple fact to be able to experience living somewhere else. I did live in Mobile for 2 years while I was in college, but it's not the same because it was college. It wasn't necessarily I live here. But once in my life, I do want to relocate, move somewhere else and experience.
To a different state? You have any ideas where you may potentially want to go to?
I don't know. I mean, I would think about going to Georgia, maybe not Atlanta, because, it's
Atlanta.
They full.
Yeah.
They full, but I like Georgia. I like Texas. I have family in Chicago. I love
Houston, man. We went there the first time last month. I love Houston, man. It was a good time out there.
It's definitely the nightlife experience is definitely way different than anything I have ever experienced.
Yeah, anywhere. It's different. Yeah, we were out there for a bachelor party. My best friend got married, so
okay. Y'all shouldn't have took him there.
We had a good time. We didn't let nobody get in trouble. I'll leave it at that. We didn't get nobody in trouble. But yeah, we wanted to do something different because we're close to where we are. We're close, about a little bit over an hour from Charlotte.
Okay.
And Atlanta is about 2 hours, 2 and some change from us. So we just wanted to do something different.
Right.
But definitely, Houston was a different experience though. But we do a lot of traveling. And I've been the same way though, thinking about relocating. But it's a part of me that I always say I want to stay home and build something for the people. So I've been kind of torn on that. But I've had people tell me, there's nothing wrong with it sometimes, leaving, getting a different perspective of a life outside of where you're from, and then coming back home and building something again.
And one thing that I have learned is that strangers will always be your biggest supporters. Like, everybody's a stranger when you first meet them, obviously, and then you build that bond, you build that connection. But a lot of times when people feel like they know you already, they known you your whole life. Like, people I've gone to middle school, elementary school, high school, they're like, I'm proud of you, but they still don't give the same kind of support of people that have never met me.
Right. That's weird. We always talk about it. It's weird how, like, even on a bigger scale, like with celebrities, like, we'll support artists that we don't even know, they don't know us.
Right.
We'll support them, but like somebody that's local trying to do that or any other type of business that they have, we won't support that. But somebody we don't know, which is a crazy thing, like,
I agree 100%.
we'll support them the most. I don't know why that is. Did you have a hard time getting that support, starting your business though?
I started business 4 years ago.
Okay.
And when I was doing it, it wasn't, entrepreneurship wasn't as glorified as it is now. It was just, we were sort of kind of beginning to find out, and people were trying out new things. So there wasn't a lot of entrepreneurs. So once I came and I started paving the way, I opened my first storefront for Deezy's Playhouse, and people were just bombarding me with these questions like, how you do this, how you do that, how you do this, how you do that. So I really feel like I went ahead and messed everything up first so I could turn around and get it right for everybody else so that they didn't have to go through that. So the support wasn't hard because they saw me doing this. Like, they like, oh, I know her, she did this, she did that. So it just kind of flew naturally.
Right. It just made me think of another question when you talk about, when you first started, like how entrepreneurship wasn't glorified like as it is now. Do you think we glorify entrepreneurship as for the wrong reasons now? Because now, like, you look on social media, everybody's their own boss, and they post pictures like they never failed at anything. It's all wins. Do you think that now, when the space we're in now, that we glorify entrepreneurship for the wrong reasons?
I do. And first thing I tell everybody is you can quit. You can stop working 40 hours a week. You're just going to turn around and work 100 hours a week and be more tired working for yourself than you will for someone else, depending on, what area of business you are running. But entrepreneurship is not peaches, creams, unicorns, and rainbows. Like, there will be good days. There will be bad days. Like, you can make $1,000 today, $2,000 tomorrow, and $0 for the rest of the week. And that's the part that people don't realize. They just feel like, well, I don't want to do this. And it's rules no matter what you do, whether you work for yourself, whether you work for a business. Like, there's still stuff you have to follow. So people just see people like, oh, I made $1 million, and it doesn't really.
Yeah, that's why it's hard for me to buy into a lot of stuff that's on online. Like, it's a few entrepreneurs that I pay attention to because you can clearly tell by their results, and they've been doing it for so long. But what kind of gets me sometimes is, like, not saying it's not possible, but it's like some entrepreneurs, like, they post that they made a biz like $1 million or made 6 figures in like a month or so. Like, it's not saying it's impossible, but is it really? Like, I think when they paint it that way, it's like they really have people thinking like, oh, it's this easy.
Right.
I can just go out here and get it like that. It's not.
Most definitely. And I tell people, what's for you is for you. You might see someone else's success, but you don't know what all they went through to get there. You don't know what they had to start with. They might have made $1 million or 6 figures in a couple of months, but what did they have to put up on the front end to get there? Because they might have took out a $300,000 loan. You just don't have that background information. So I advise, do your research and make sure you know what you're getting yourself into, because
exactly,
you just never know what you're getting into.
I gotta ask you. I want to go back a little bit. Go back to your childhood a little bit. How was like your childhood, like growing up? Like what kind of things did you gravitate towards, and like what influenced you?
So I was a nerd. I had these big thick glasses and high water pants and little plaits on my head. So I was teased and bullied a lot when I was a child. But I kind of buried myself in extracurricular activities. I played clarinet. I played basketball. I played soccer. I played the piano. I did art. I read. I wrote poetry. So I was just constantly. I have always been busy. Like debate team. By the time I got older, cheerleading, dancing. Like, I just was always busy.
You don't come across as the type of person that was like a quote unquote nerd or something like that. Like your personality, it's like you always seem like you always had confidence and you like knew what you wanted to do.
It definitely was not. It wasn't until I got to high school and I said, I'm sick of this. And I just had to finally, stand up in it and decided to be who I wanted to be versus being shy, being timid, being picked on. And I'm like, I was always outgoing around my family, but kind of shy around people. So I could do public speaking all day long, speeches, and but it just, I don't know. My daughter, she was just earlier, she was like, who are you today? So I can know who I want to call you. So I got this alter ego thing going on where I can break out of my shell sometimes, and I'm just not shy no more. Like, now I don't meet a stranger. I can talk to anybody. So
it's crazy because I'm like, for me, I'm out of the people that I hang with, I'm probably like the most laid back person. I'm like shy at times. Like I was kind of like that when I was growing up. Like I was, I stayed in my books and everything, but I was kind of like afraid to, approach people. And then I actually wrote about it in my book. It wasn't until I started hearing females ask like, you think he cute and stuff like that. And then when I heard those conversations, that's when I started getting confidence. And then it just stuff. Yeah. It was, but I had to go through that phase. And once I got, I built so much confidence for some of the right and wrong reasons. Like I did a lot of stuff I write about in my book.
And that's one of the biggest things, whether you know what you're talking about or not. If you sound like you know what you're talking about, just like we said with the internet, people gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna listen to you.
Yeah, exactly.
So confidence plays a big part in it.
Did you feel like who were the people that you looked up to growing up? Like who influenced you? Did you was it like a family of entrepreneurs or that you saw as an entrepreneur? Like who influenced you?
So I'm first generation entrepreneur. My grandma was all, go to college, get a job, yada yada. So I did that. That wasn't working out. So, I got a degree. I did all that. But growing up, first of all, I love Michael Jackson. And no, I'm not a singer. I'm not a pop star. But I love Michael Jackson. So, Michael Jackson, my mom and Michael Jackson actually have the same birthday. So, we all love Michael Jackson. So, that's where I get my dancing from. If y'all see me dancing one day.
So, you going to moonwalk?
Yeah.
You can do it now if you want.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Other than that, I love Beyonce. I love Michael Jackson. But as far as entrepreneur-wise, I didn't really see a lot of entrepreneurs going up. Like I said, it wasn't really, not for us. It was people of color anyway, like entrepreneur. And social media wasn't so big to where you were able to see so many people. So the only influences I had were like music artists and like a couple of my teachers and stuff like that.
Like I said, like even when we did see people that look like us have a business, we didn't attach the word entrepreneur to it. Like we didn't know what to call it. You just say that they got a job or they got their own business, but I never used the word entrepreneur when it came to my uncle or anybody else that had their own business. But for me, kind of for the most part, the mindset for me was like the same thing. It's like, you graduate high school, go to college, you get a job, and you're gonna work and stay there. Like how would you say your mindset was?
So I was listening at first, but I just started doing stuff out of order because I got into this. When I started feeling myself, the confidence we talked about, I started being a rebel, right? So this when I started getting in trouble. So I'm doing whatever I want to do, So she like, go to college. I went to college, but now I'm knocked up and I got to come back home. So
the college life is different too.
I wasn't used to that.
Exactly.
I wasn't used to
different.
that.
Because you on your own, you don't have nobody waking you up, telling you when to go to class.
Never went.
Never went. Now I went to class. It was some
not
days.
at 8 o'clock. I'm not making it to the 8 o'clock.
That's why I messed up at my freshman year. See, when you're a freshman, you don't really know. So you thinking, man,
you feel like you're fine. You've been at school at 8 o'clock your whole life.
Exactly. But when you got to do it on your own, that was the last semester that I did. I said, from now on, 10 o'clock or later, that's when I'm trying to get my classes.
So I did it. I got knocked up, and then I came back home. But I finished. When I came back home. I got jobs in my field. My degree is in criminal justice. But I actually gravitated towards social work, so I started working on my master's in social work. I did all that. But it just doesn't make enough money. And you, at some point, you have to realize, like, no matter how many coffees you stop buying, no matter how many chicken plates you skip, at some point, you just got to make more money to be able to get the life that you want to live.
Mm-hmm. Talk a little bit about, that you face a little bit of adversity, going to college, getting pregnant, then having to come back home. Like, what was your mindset and like, what was your family saying like when they found out? And then for you, what were you thinking about? Did you think you were just gonna be done with college or what?
Child, I ain't even gonna tell y'all how my mama dogged me out when when I told her I was pregnant. But she loved her grandbaby now, but she dogged me out real bad when I got pregnant.
I feel like they love the grandkids more than they love us.
They do. So I let her have it. But I was really once my daughter came, he was like, I gotta figure this out. So now I'm working 2 jobs at a time. I'm taking 18 credit hours in school. I'm dragging my daughter behind me. Come on, sit right here in the back of this class. You in the break room while I'm in the front at work. Like, we literally, so I tell her all the time, she grew up with me. Like, we had to figure it out together. So, but I mean, I had to get it done because I don't have the kind of family where I can go and get like financial assistance or, anything like that. So it's always been, if my back up against the wall, I got to use the wall to scratch my back. Mm-hmm. Had to figure it out, and I just keep that. No, it's no plan B.
Mm-hmm. What kind of jobs did you work in the past that kind of like help you with your like entrepreneurship experience? Like, what kind of jobs did you take on?
So when I was doing retail, that helped me out a lot with my boutique. Learning merchandising, learning price points, learning, how to make stuff look appealing in the back end part of running business. And then after I graduated college and got actual jobs in the field of, social work, I worked for DHR, going out to visit people's homes. It just taught me a whole lot more about people, psychology of the mind, and how people act, why they do the things they do, and stuff like that. But DHR was definitely one of those jobs you learn a little bit about everything.
My experience, man. Well, I had a lot of jobs. Nothing. I didn't really understand what I kind of wanted to do until maybe like my senior year in college. But man, I used to work at restaurants, cleaning tables, Pizza Hut, Toys R Us, Sam's. I worked a lot of different things. Basically, just really like customer service. Understanding how to treat people well. My parents always told me to treat everybody with respect anyway. But then you learn more about that. Working with the public. It's a lot of stuff, man. But I had various different jobs. I think the main one that I really had that kind of helped me with my experience was when I got a job after college, probably about 2 years after college, working at a radio station. And I was trying to figure out how to like create my own opportunity because I did broadcasting, covering professional sports and high school sports. And I couldn't find a job in my field after I graduated. So ended up getting a part-time job at a radio station, driving about an hour to work every day for $10 an hour. And it was rough. And I tell everybody I really didn't make money doing it. Like by the time I got a check from them, I basically was in the hole or I barely broke even. But it taught me how to produce my own like shows, like as far as like running the show,
you gotta do sometimes.
edit audio and stuff like that. So I took that experience and kind of brought that over here to what I'm doing now. But other than that, like I always say it's a blessing and lesson in everything that you do. So you gotta take those experience, take the good with the bad in those experiences. Like it was rough because I was broke, still had kids and trying to provide, and then you barely making it that way.
I definitely understand.
It's rough. So what did you say you went to college at?
I started at University of South Alabama. In Mobile. I stayed there for 2 years, and then I had my daughter, and I came back here, and I graduated from Miles College.
Okay. I saw on Shout Out Atlanta online, it said in 2018, I guess when you were a social worker, you would get looks because of your appearance. How did that make you feel?
So, it was like, I'm a lot more conservative now because I'm older. But 2018, my nails was out here. And trends have changed too. Y'all know we had them big 25mm lashes. The girls are going a lot more soft now. We toning it down a little bit. But in this time, a little bit.
I guess.
A little bit. But in this time, we had some invisible parts going on. We had all kind of stuff going on. So when you walking in the courtroom, these they look at me like, who is that? Where's she going? And that made me feel like, why do you want to use my looks to try to justify how you think who you think I am, rather? Because I know more than most of all y'all. Right. And once I start talking, now everybody is like surprised. Like,
I think it, for one part, is already, you know, being somebody of color. That's definitely already one strike already. And then you said the way you carry yourself, not making it right for them to judge you like that. When you don't, you know, clean yourself up or whatever. Not saying you weren't professional, but like to them, they want a certain appearance already. Like, you know, they don't want tattoos, you know, dreads or anything like that. So when you
anything that's black, they don't want none of it.
Exactly, and it's still that way now. But even with us, you know, we in the beginning, we started doing interviews. Like sometimes I would just wear like basketball shorts or a t-shirt or whatever, because I knew what I wanted to do, but I wanted to make people feel comfortable. And I remember my barber a couple years ago. He told me, "Hey man, you doing some great work," but he's like, "Man, try this, you know, just try dressing up a little bit more." And even now I can tell, like, when we walk into these different business establishments, when they see us dressed up, like they approach us differently already because they know like we're about our business. Not making it right for them to judge us regardless, but when we dress up like this or anything and go into these establishments, it's already like this. You give them this like positive energy.
Right. I definitely agree. So I stopped being a hot girl, cause I'm knocking on 30 now. So
hey, I'm at 30 now. I turned 30 this year.
I toned it down a little bit, but also because that stuff take a lot of energy, you know, and it's a lot more expensive to long nails versus my little short nails. Or, you know, sometimes I might switch it up every now and then, but it really depends on how I feel. And at this point in my life, I just like feeling free
and being comfortable.
Yeah.
For you, okay, so after that, how long did you do the social work before you kind of like transitioned to, you know, doing your own thing?
So I graduated college and started working in 2018. And, no, I graduated in 2016. I did graduate in 2016. And I was doing all the work. So I started my business in 2018. And by the time it got to, I had my daughter, my second daughter. I had 2 kids. Okay?
I got 3. Go ahead.
Ooh, Lord.
I'm done.
I hope so. Me too.
I'm done.
So by the time I got to my second kid, and it was time for me to go back to work for maternity leave, and they did not pay me my last check from being off work. So I'm like, forget y'all, I ain't coming back. So that was the breaking point for me, where I was like, while I was on maternity leave, I was at home. So I took that time to stay down and figure out how to do graphics, and that's when I broke into graphics. So now I know my way around the computer. So now I'm producing another stream of income for myself. So by the time it was time for me to go back to work and I figured out they didn't pay me, I'm like, I don't need this. And I just started going hard for me because they didn't care about me.
Exactly. A job, you know, I always say it's nothing wrong with having a job, but at the end of the day, like, they can always find somebody that's going to replace you. Like,
definitely. They probably replaced me before I left.
Yep, exactly. You can give a company 30, 40 years, let them know you about to leave. Next thing you know, they got a posting for your position. They're the same day, honestly. They already know what they going to do. So the early days of entrepreneurship for you. So when you got the graphic design going and you jump into it. What was the first business that you had?
Deezy's Playhouse. And that was 2018. Okay. And I was working while I was doing it. Running my boutique or whatever. And the reason why I started that is because I've always been into fashion and stuff like that, and how the people were looking at me. I'm like, I'm going to be myself regardless. So that was my way for me to channel that energy into fashion, to be like, let's be who you want to be. Wear what you want to wear. Love yourself out loud. Do whatever you want to do. As long as you ain't hurt nobody else type thing. So that was the early stages. And that's really what taught me a lot of the groundwork. Stuff for what needed to be done. And then I opened my first storefront in 20. I don't know. Don't give me the line. One of them years. And after I opened the storefront, it's also when it was time for me to start going back to work. So all this stuff was going on simultaneously, isn't it? Another reason why I was just like, forget this job. Like,
so when did you know it was time, to transition full time into like becoming a full time entrepreneurship? Did you wait to see how the business was going, or when did you know?
When them people like pay me, because I ain't getting paid anyway. So what I'm coming for?
Yeah. How was those first days of like having your official storefront? Like, how was that?
My grand opening was amazing. I had all my friends there, all my family there. And then there wasn't a lot of people selling clothes then either. So it's like people was coming. Business was going really, really well.
How do you just thinking about what you just said? There wasn't a lot of people selling clothes at that time. Now, a lot of more people are doing their own thing. Do you embrace that, with other people getting into fashion and doing some of the same work? Do you embrace those type of people?
I do, and I'm actually really happy that the boutiques are growing. Everybody's jumping into the online. I just push for everybody to make sure, figure out what they want to do that forces them to be different than every other boutique. Because a lot of people, now we into fast fashion. Stuff we gonna wear one time, throw it away, never look at it again. Oh, I took a picture in this, I can't wear it no more. So you got to figure out what it is that's gonna separate your brand from everybody else's brand.
You have a lot of different courses I saw online, helping entrepreneurs. Can you talk a little bit about some of the courses that you have for people that want to that's still trying to figure it out, but you can kind of like walk them through those steps? What kind of courses do you
Most
offer?
definitely. So, my very, very first course was a Christmas course, and it was All I Want for Christmas is a Bag. We had a good time, but they pretty much have the same layout. We're going to start with the foundation groundwork, getting your licenses, your LLC, building your business credit and stuff like that, and then I'm going to teach you branding, I'm going to teach you marketing, all of that stuff, wrap it up in one, and then like tips and tricks on content creating and getting sales and stuff like that. And most recently I added a Airbnb course for people who want to get started in Airbnb business.
Who put you on game about as far as like the business, like running a business? I'm sure it came with some lumps as well, but did you have anybody that kind of like showed you the ropes? It was like a mentor.
I screwed it up till I got it right. Every time. And that's why I say I kind of paved it to where I done already scratched up my knees and my elbows. I done paid fines. I done did this. I done did everything because I already did it wrong. So I can tell anybody exactly how to do it right. This is what you're supposed to do. So it just kind of came from failure is going to be the biggest teacher every time.
Absolutely. So how long after? So Deezy's Playhouse was first, and then Boss Bay University was the second. How long was it until you jumped into the second business? Because I know you said that you took you had to learn some lessons the hard way. How long was it before you transitioned and jumped into another business?
So Boss Bay was born. That's what I was doing on maternity leave when I was doing the graphics and stuff. And it's probably about a 2-year span in between from Deezy's Playhouse until when I started Boss Bay. And Boss Bay was really because people were asking all these questions. How do I do this? How do I do that? And I'm like, y'all taking too much time from me. Without, and it was really draining. So I'm like, let me figure out how I can do this to where everybody can see a benefit from this. So,
is it a fine line between just thinking about that, like you said, people will pick your brain. A lot of times people get as much information as they can for free, and of course, you want to help people, but at the same time, it's your time. You have to charge. Is there a fine line between how much advice you give them before you like, look, all right, I gave you this much information. Now, if you need any more help, you have to pay for my time. Is there
right? So if you're asking me a simple question or something, I don't mind answering a simple question. Like I'm not that much, whatever they want to call it. But if you inboxing me a paragraph and I ain't never met you a day in my life, I'm gonna be like, what's going on? But I don't mind helping people. I always help people. I even give out. I have a group on Facebook, actually, Boss Bay University. It's got like 1,000 women entrepreneurs in it, and I drop like gems, free game every now and then. I send out free gems and games to my email subscribers and stuff like that. So I give out a lot of what I can for free because I want to let the people know, like, it's not just always about your money. I really do want to help you, but at the same time, this is also my job. So
right. That's how you gonna make a living and provide for your family. What would you say is the hardest part about being an entrepreneur?
Discipline. I would definitely say discipline. Especially like we talked about, when you can make this day and this day and nothing. So you really have to budget. You have to discipline, because it's just like going to college. You don't have nobody to tell you to get up and go to class. You don't have nobody to tell you to get up and go to work. You don't have nobody to say, hey, I got to go shoot this video today. It's up to you to really, if you don't work, you don't eat. So you have to discipline yourself enough to say, you're like, oh, I don't feel like it. But you, like, even me, I go through it sometimes too. I get the itis where I don't feel like it. But, you got to continue to push yourself, because if you don't, your results are going to show. And it's going to show when you not eating.
Yeah, that's a fact. What would you say was the hardest thing that you had to overcome? Was it discipline, or was it something else that you had to overcome as an entrepreneur that you kind of got in your way with sometimes?
I wouldn't say anything else. To me, I'm a just do it person. Nobody knew how to do anything until they did it. Even when I was putting my shops together, I put these floors down, I painted these walls, I did all this myself. And they're like, well, women don't know how to paint. Painters don't know how to paint till they do it. So right. Me, I'm just a person just do it. And if it mess up, it just mess up. And
we got YouTube now.
Definitely.
YouTube got everything on it that you need now. So that's another thing. That's like a cheat code. Like growing up, we didn't have YouTube. It definitely wasn't like it is now. Where
definitely.
You can just
I can change the tire, change my oil. I can do
simple
whatever
stuff,
I want to.
man. It's like, I remember I did something crazy. This was probably about 6-7 years ago. I was just playing. Well, I gave my game up now. I gave it to my son, but it was probably about 6-7 years ago, maybe longer than that. And I was just trying to figure out like how to beat this level on the game, and I'm like, man, I can't even figure this out. Got on YouTube, something simple, just like that. So YouTube has everything.
Google too, whichever one I get to first. And one thing about me, I'm gonna figure it out. If I don't have it now, I have it by the time you come back.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite argument right there. Somebody tell me something and I know it ain't true. First time to Google it.
Yeah, definitely. Cause me and my fingers, you ain't gonna be faster than me. Cause you ain't finna tell me, I'm finna tell you.
Exactly. Have you ever I already asked you that. I'm gonna ignore that part. How do you feel like overall, like building these businesses, as you continue to grow as a person and as an entrepreneur? How the city has like supported you now? Because a lot of times when you get a lot of stature and become successful, yes, you bring other people up with you, but we were talking to the guys yesterday. And telling me everybody's not always gonna be happy for you if you continue to grow on your journey. Like, how do you feel like the support has been for you?
So, I feel like it's been great, and I feel like it's been ups and downs. Right now, I do feel like I've climbed this ladder, and now I'm just right here. Like, what do I want to do? Where do I want to go? What to do next? I have maxed out most of everything I feel like that I want to do here. That's one of the reasons I was thinking about relocating to start over, just for something fresh and exciting, new. But now I'm at this point, like, people gonna talk regardless if you do good, bad, whatever. So even like when I had the Freaknik pop-up shop in June, I do a Freaknik every year for my birthday.
Freaknik, like, not the one like back in the...
Similar, yeah. But wear your hoochie mama shorts, get your hair with your little pin curls and all that kind of stuff, and we just bring a vibe. This year I was able to sign up 125 vendors for Freaknik. And even that, I was getting backlash because the club I had it at, somebody got shooting outside the night before. I can't control that. But I had to carry the weight of all that on my shoulders. And then they got mad because they had to pay to get in. You see all these police officers out here because of what happened last night. Like, all these people got to get paid. So it's not just on me. So it's like people have something to say about everything. But I just continue to do what I do because what's for me is for me. So whoever rock with me, they gonna rock
So
with
do
me.
you feel like necessarily things would be better just leaving because you get this kind of pushback from the events that you throw at times? You think it'll, but I guess because they don't know you, if you go somewhere else, it may be better.
Yeah, and two, I just really want a peace of mind. Like I hosted a pop-up shop in Atlanta last year at the Georgia International Convention Center. And I had people flying from Hawaii. I had people coming from everywhere just to be in my pop-up shop, people that I had never met in my life.
Mm-hmm.
But when it came, it's two hours and some change away from here. And the only Birmingham people that I got to come was maybe like 3, 4, 5 people. Mm-hmm. So that's what I mean by you get a lot more support from people that don't even know you versus.
Mm-hmm. And maybe because they like you said, when you from this area, they know you or feel like they know you. Mm-hmm. They feel like, well, I can see you here. Why would I go? Mm-hmm. But sometimes it's not even all about just because you see them all the time, man. That support goes a long way. Like, even if you can't make it, we know everybody's situation is different. Like, just if you want to like leave a donation or anything,
right?
just to
support
show
is
support.
Way more different ways than even if you just like and sharing a post. Like, that's still a form of support because you never know who's laying eyes on it or who can be impacted by what they see. So
that's great. Like you said, we'll share something from somebody.
Some mess.
Yep, quick. Real quick.
I'm so sick of looking at Nicki Minaj and Mulatto and everybody else. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just because I don't even get into those arguments with people because I'm like, what are they doing that's impacting my life or your life or in a positive way? Like, you arguing about something, they arguing about validation. And I'm not knocking them personally, but it's like you arguing about validation from people that don't look like us, for one, and it's not going, at the grand scheme of things, it's not really that big of a deal at the end of the day.
It's like, really not.
Exactly. And then it's crazy because you'll see people having to pick and choosing sides. Like they with Lotto or they with Nicki, and I'm not going at them personally. It's just like our mindset and like the things that we're really looking at in life is like that's right there is like not even.
Now, if y'all want to get into Beyonce, we gonna have a problem. But I don't care about nobody.
So Beyonce, your girl.
I'm a Beehive fan.
I ain't knocking Beyonce at all. I love Beyonce too. Couple more questions. We're gonna get ready to wrap it up. What do you feel like you've learned about yourself since becoming an entrepreneur, full-time entrepreneur?
About myself, I have learned a lot about resiliency. Me, like I said, messing up and having to try again and do something over and over and over again. I have learned that I can sometimes be very impulsive, like when doing stuff. Like when I opened my first Deezy's Playhouse store, I wouldn't say that I was necessarily ready. It was necessarily I saw opportunity and I took it. Now, I'm blessed and grateful that it turned out to go well, but I do make some impulsive decisions sometimes because I have this mindset. I can do whatever I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
it's
what's
a
mindset. For me. Exactly. So I jump and I do stuff, and then I like to hyper fixate on things, and then I be on it, and then I get burnt out from it because I was so adamant on whatever it was, and then I'm tired of it really fast. Like, if I sit here and eat 50 brownies, I'm never going to eat another brownie again because I'm tired of brownies.
For one, you going to pass out. For one, you going to pass out. But I understand what you're saying, and just as an entrepreneur, just burnout is real. It's a real thing, man. I spoke about this before, where I had a moment last year where when I released my first book, that came out last year. I wish I had. I would have gave you a copy of it.
You ain't bring me no book.
I got you. I'll make sure you get one. I got you. Trust me.
You be your own folks.
Man, I know, right? I left all of it. Normally when I'm on the road, I try to get my guests books, and I just ordered some as well. But I got you. But the title of my book is F School Life is Your Best Teacher. And
I like that.
And it's a cover. It's on the pictures, me and my son on the front of it. And he's holding my college degree. So you thinking I'm saying like F school don't go, but I have a degree. But when you read it, it's just breaking down what I thought like what life was supposed to be like, as far as like going to school and getting a job and retire, staying there till you retire. And but it's more deep when you look deeper into it. It's about me sharing my journey and just about believing in yourself and not worrying about what other people want for you, like doing what you want to do in life. So
you sound like me.
Yeah, most definitely, man. I'm telling you, I had a lot of experience like. And I've always been the type, like, I don't like to always do everything that everybody else is doing. So I kind of, like, go against the grain and, like, I just had to create my own opportunity. It was just something about the 9 to 5 grind. It's like nothing wrong with it. It's just like when you talk to people and they tell you got a great job with benefits and just stay until you retire. In my mind, I was just like, man, why is it always everybody telling me the same thing? Why is everybody thinking the same way? And then you got to wait till you 65, 60 plus years old to really enjoy yourself. I'm like, I want to enjoy life now, doing what I want to do. I don't have to wait. So a lot of that was me putting that into my book. And, like I said, it just helped me learn so much, creating my own opportunity, just going through some things. I took some hard lessons to get to where I am. But, looking back at it now, I'm like thankful for, hearing those no's because it helped me kind of get to where I am now. You have an upcoming event. I think it's tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
And we are. I wish it would have been today.
Yeah, could have come and see me.
Trapchella. Talk a little bit about that. And what time does it actually start?
2:00.
Yeah, we see.
Y'all gonna be gone?
Yeah, we'll be gone. We were talking about, man, Trapchella. I wish it would have been today because we definitely would have been able to come out there and make it. But talk a little bit about your event and like how did that come about?
Okay, so I don't do events on Saturdays because people have too many excuses why they can't come, and I don't want to hear it. So Sunday is my event day every time. And the event I have is always gonna be on a Sunday. So my pop-up shops always have themes because I want to get the people involved and I want it to be more than just a vendor experience. When you hear pop-up shop, you don't have nothing but other business owners there. So I like it to make it an experience for the entire city. So everybody can come because it's not just a pop-up shop. So I'm having Trapchella tomorrow. I had Wildin' Out before. You had Red Squad, Black Squad, whatever. We had a good time. I actually threw a Mardi Gras this year. Pop-up shop. Had a parade. Yada, yada, yada. I do free neat.
How often you throw these events?
I try to space them out so I can have time to do my awareness, my promotion, and stuff like that. So usually every 3 to 4 months.
Okay.
Yeah. So Trapchella is tomorrow, and this is me incorporating, of course, being ghetto with Coachella. So you can just
being
call
ghetto.
it. So I want to see the festival outfits, but we gonna vibe out to some ghetto music. We gonna take some shots. We gonna buy some stuff from my vendors.
Man, I wish we were able to make that event, man. We're gonna have to try to come back for the next one. I don't like saying try. We'll be back. Let us know. We're gonna definitely come out and support. Man, we always support our people.
You already ain't bring me no book, and then
man, I'm gonna get you a book. I got you a book. Trust me. I'll make sure you get a book, man. Cause I like for people to hear my story, and I like helping to inspire people. So I'm gonna make sure you get a book. I got you. How does it feel for you? With Trapchella, Freaknik, everything that you do, how does it make you feel, seeing that you're creating opportunities not for yourself but for other people?
So, after my first Freaknik last year, I was crying, like real tears. After I just saw all that come together, like, because I had 100 vendors last year too, and just seeing the networking, just seeing everybody enjoying each other's company, like tent, and I just stood on the stage and I just stood there and soaked it all in, and I'm like, this is really happening. So it definitely makes me feel really, really good. The process is very stressful because you got 100 vendors, I got 100 different attitudes, I got 100 different questions, I got 100 different expectations. So it's a lot that goes into putting these events together and dealing with so many people at the same time. And the first thing you learn being a business owner is that people don't read. So no matter how many times you say the same thing over and over again, now I gotta say the same thing over and over again. So it's definitely a challenge. But after I see them come together, like once I actually get in the event and we are there, I feel real good.
Let me tell you, I love our people. I love everybody. But when you said it about people don't read, it made me think about my book signing last year. And I put out a flyer that had the date on it. It was March 28th, 4 o'clock. And the number one question people asked me, what time do it start? Right there on the flyer, it says 4 p.m., but people would still ask me, like, what's
the address?
Everything right is on there. It's like, man, people really don't take the time. They don't care. They see a flyer, but they still want to. I was like, man, what? I was like, come on, man. I know y'all see this, but they just, like you said.
So I be having a group chat, and I have everybody in a Facebook group chat at that. So it's not even confusing. You see everybody name, everybody picture. It's not a whole bunch of random phone numbers. You see the names, you see the faces. You see me, and you see my face. You see this paragraph this long, And I copy and paste the same message and I drop it every couple of days so that the new people can see it. It don't get pushed up. And they still gonna come say, what time set up?
I know that kind of stuff will drive you crazy right now.
It is. So, I recently ended up hiring me a coordinator so she can go back and answer some of those questions for me because
that's what I was about to ask. Do you have people helping you like so it's easier for you to like delegate things and you can focus on other things? Do you have like a team around you to help you?
I do have a few people. I got a team of 3. I got Nikki, Ashley, and Tori. They help me with pretty much everything. And I don't know what, like, especially as the event started getting bigger, it started to be too much to do.
I gotta ask you this, cause we getting ready to wrap this up. Now I read this, I was like, this is right down my alley. Shout out Atlanta. They asked you about if somebody came to I was about to say Atlanta, came to Birmingham. They wanted something to eat. You said you would take them somewhere. I forgot the name of the restaurant. I don't have it down, but you said you would give them a 10-piece hot lemon pepper, a Cajun ranch, and a Kiki Poo.
Yeah, like you can't come to Birmingham and not get wings, bro.
Man, I love wings, man. Especially the hot lemon pepper. But see, we go to Wingstop. You don't like Wingstop?
No, that's not.
Man, listen. The 10-piece hot lemon pepper from Wingstop, extra crispy now. You gotta give them extra crispy.
I'm not convinced.
But don't give me all flats. I ain't all flats. I do a combination or I'll take all drums, but I don't want all flats.
I'm not convinced. You gotta get some ghetto chicken.
From where?
You can go to Wings Heaven. You can go to Oh Yes Wings. You can go to Wings Plus.
So all these places around here, one of those, I forgot which one you said got a, what is a Kiki Poo? Is that like a drink or something?
Yeah, it's like a Kool-Aid that they make.
And
but it's like a peachy, punchy, lemonade-y.
And the Kiki, I was about
it's
to say,
Kiki Poo.
And then you have like all these different initials, like if you say TPHL or something like that.
That's just a hot lemon pepper with Cajun ranch, cheese fries, and a Kiki Poo. But we break it down into
that's a lot.
Because it's a culture thing. Like
right.
We already know what we saying, so you just might as well.
And you say you can tell them that, and they already know what you want.
Yeah.
Man, I do want some wings though. I ate some grilled chicken earlier. It was alright. We ate it. I forgot. I told CB7. Charbar, yeah.
Never
it
heard
was good
it.
though. It was.
So y'all should have asked me so I could take y'all get some ghetto food.
Well, we still here. We leaving in the morning. Well, I'm pretty sure we're gonna eat something else before.
Y'all need some ghetto food.
Well, you gotta show us around. But I had to ask you about that 10-piece hot lemon pepper. That's right up my. That's right up my alley.
You got to experience that experience. It's like. And
I love, like you said, trying stuff different. You know. And everybody wings ain't gonna be the same. But
definitely.
Wingstop still. That's like where we at. Like we don't really have a lot.
That's because you ain't had no good chicken. That's why you like it.
We don't really have a lot of. we don't.
Listen, I'm gonna take you. I'm gonna take you out of Urban Smoke. They got hot lemon pepper catfish, tilapia, poached.
That's what I wanted. I saw somebody posted at one time some hot lemon pepper catfish. We gotta go there.
Yeah, and then it's a bar too. They got hookahs. They got the rainbow shots. They got swings. They got everything.
Man, we done went off script, but we going there now. It sounds good, right?
Yeah, that's
we going
good.
There now.
And they got all kind of food, Billy's and everything.
We going now.
All right.
A few more questions. We're gonna get ready to wrap it up. So, what are some goals that you have in the future that you would like to share? Something that you can share, like a goal that you may have.
As of right now, I wanna open me some more Airbnbs. And I'll tell anybody, passive income is the way to go. Automate your properties so you ain't gotta go, you ain't gotta worry about it, and you just make money while you sleep.
And that's something else that you had to that you taught yourself to, is just the Airbnb.
A little bit of YouTube and a little bit of life.
And you got a course on the Airbnb course as well. You got a lot going on.
I do have a lot going on.
Man, that's big. And this is for men and women. Like men can learn the same kind.
I have men in my classes sometimes, and they just like the fact that they can be surrounded by women. So.
And a lot of times, sometimes men with egos, like, man, we know how to do this stuff, and I want to go to a female for this type of advice. But man, a lot of times, man, most of the time, women are just they are nurturers. And man, when you need something, women are gonna help you get things right.
Behind every successful man is a strong woman.
That's a fact.
Man is just the face.
That's a fact, man. Women definitely are a huge part of what we do. What advice would you have for someone? Maybe they want to be an entrepreneur or whatever it is in life. Maybe they want to just do something else with their life. But what advice would you have for anyone that's want to pursue their dreams?
My biggest quote, and I know I said this 1,000 times every time, but what's for you is for you. Whatever it is, work towards it, grind at it. Don't let it scare you. Just know, does not always mean no. It might mean not yet. It might mean later. Just don't give up. Keep going at it. If you need help, please ask for help, because that's one of the biggest things we get stuck into in our communities. We scared to ask for help because we know how people like to throw it back up in our faces, or they don't even have the means to help us. So if you need help, ask for help. And number one, mindset is the first thing. So don't send me nobody that's scared if I can't help you. Your brain first. So get your mindset together. Once you tell yourself you can do this, we can start working on it, whatever it is.
Absolutely. And then my last and final question that I like to ask everybody. This is the Cross the Line Podcast Self-Investment Tour. So I like to ask every entrepreneur or everyone that comes on, what does self-investment mean to you?
I don't know.
Self-investment?
Yeah, I mean, I invest in myself all the time.
But believing in yourself?
Yeah, I do
But
that.
you had to believe in yourself. You had to have that confidence.
Yeah, I do that too.
If not, then you wouldn't.
It ain't gonna work.
Exactly. How do you help people, like, because it's definitely like a mindset thing, but like how would you say you can help somebody as far as like changing their mindset? Because like I said, for so long we weren't exposed to this type of stuff, or we may have lacked this confidence, or we didn't have anybody in our corner. Like, how would you help somebody as far as like, kind of overcoming that barrier?
So sometimes I have to feel that person out first, because sometimes I cuss my students out because I have to, because they need tough love. But some people do need tough love, and some people just be like, give it to me straight. Just let me know, like, hey, stop being scared.
Mm-hmm.
And my mama mode comes out a lot, so I tend to start fussing anyway, in a good way, way. But yeah, I mean, we talk, and then sometimes with my clients, I end up having life sessions, like let me know what it is that's blocking your brain in regular life outside of the business world, so I can see if I can help you work through that as well, because that's my background. And social work is problem solving. So they kind of tie in together a little bit.
It made me think when you said Mama Mo, I ain't had this down, but how does your family look at you now being an entrepreneur, having multiple businesses? Like, how do they view you now?
Busy, and they need to stop playing and watch my children so I can go to work.
do they view you like it's like the breadwinner now? Like, you got your own business, you got everything, you got your things established? Like,
so I'm the oldest in my generation. So I'm the big cousin to everybody, the big sister to everybody. So everybody has always looked up to me anyway. So now I'm everybody's mama instead of everybody big cousin, because they always come to me for something. But my mama, she's so funny, y'all. She like, what is wrong with you? You are not a celebrity. You do not have a blue check. And I'm like, but that's my mama. She don't mean no harm, but she gonna catch on one day.
And nothing wrong with having your family support. Did you have a hard time? I know I've been saying we're about to wrap this thing up, but it just
I can talk all day.
Just having
talk all day. I can talk.
Just having these conversations, yeah. I just different things come up. But did you have a hard time? Like a lot of times with friends or family, somebody might want something like a discount or free. Did you have a hard time with that type of stuff now, or do you go through it like, well, people want something, like want you to hook them up for the low or anything like that, especially with family and friends?
Sometimes I don't really have a lot of friends, so I don't get it a lot on the friend side. And me and my friends, like, everybody got their own little skills, so we can look out for each other in different ways. But as far as family, they call me, ask me to do something real quick. No big deal, big deal. If it's my mama, you can get whatever, but not really. It's the public people that want stuff for free all the time.
Mainly people that look like us that want something, man, hook us up, let us get a little discount. But I don't like doing that, because you take so much of your time to build what you had. It is not like it's easy, like, so I don't want to discredit somebody's work. even if I don't think the price is, even if you think the price is too high or something, that's still their time. We don't know what they put in to build that. So that's one of the things like.
And that's how this post. It was like to cut the wire cost $1, but knowing which wire to cut is $999. Like you paying for somebody's expertise, not necessarily because it look easy to do. That's not what you paying for. You paying for the knowledge, the background information, and all of that. So.
Absolutely, just about that like a mindset, supporting people. Muff, I want to thank you for taking the time. Muff Deezy, I want to thank you for taking the time to sit with us. Before we get out of here, can you tell everybody how to find you on social media?
Of course. Okay, y'all. So you can find me on all social media platforms. If you type Muff Deezy on there, it's going to pop up some kind of way. But Facebook is Muff Deezy, the Done. Instagram is Muff Deezy. Twitter is Muff Deezy. That's 2 E's and 1 Z. Because if you put Muff Deezy, it's not going to pop up.
Muff Deezy.
2 E's and 1 Z.
And I'm pretty sure you get that a lot too.
I do.
People say, man, I can't find you and spelling it wrong.
Every time. So I had to tell you 2 E's and 1 Z.
Oh, plug in your other business, Bossy Beauty. We mentioned it earlier, but plug it in.
Let me tell you about that. So I have my own hair salon as well. It's really a beauty bar, but we got a lash tech, we got a braider, a loctician, and a ponytail girl. Well, I guess you call her hairstylist too. And I just opened that up in June of this year. So now I own a full service beauty bar as well.
You do hair and anything, or you just leave it up?
Yeah, I'm running things, but.
Man, that's dope. I just want to let you know we appreciate you, man, and keep up the great work. Like, I love to see people that look like us, that's doing something positive, creating opportunities for other people. And it's not like, for the people in this community or anybody, it's not like it's somebody like a celebrity and they think it's impossible that they achieve these things, which we definitely have to stop looking at people that way. It's like, man, they did it. We think other people can accomplish things that we can't. Mm-hmm. But to see you in the community making a difference, creating the opportunities for everybody, it's a beautiful thing, man. And definitely keep it up.
Thank you. I appreciate you too. You know, y'all traveling and interviewing and stuff like that, giving us a platform to come and tell our stories and stuff like that. That's dope.
Because we love to do it, man. Because hearing other people's stories and just everybody go through something to get to where they are. So. Everybody's not. It's like you only see the finished product online. Like if you look online or YouTube, social media, you don't know what somebody went through. So to hear these stories, it lets people know that it is obtainable. It's not impossible. So that's why we love doing it, and just hearing these stories. This is always inspiring to me as well to keep me going because like, man, they went through something, and a lot of times when I hear everybody else talk, I'm like, man, I went through something similar to that. Or like, man, they speaking to me and giving me this type of advice. So that's why we love to do it. But we really appreciate you. Keep up the good work. I hate we can't make it tomorrow to Trapchella, but we coming back. Just let us know. Okay. And we still got to go get this hot lemon pepper catfish. I ain't forgot about that. But we want to thank you again. Hopefully everybody enjoyed this episode of the Cross the Line Podcast, Self-Investment Tour. So until next time, keep chasing your dreams. Thank you for listening.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Muff Deezy the Done, and you are tuned in to Cross the Line Podcast.